BelGeode, and we are back with some Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. Woohoo! Alright, so you're probably looking at this big beefy bird and like, what in the hell is Bell doing? Well, today we are going to be doing a bonus mission from KLIT, Little Rock, Arkansas. We are currently at the Little Rock Air Force Base, which right now looks like a ghost town because I do not have any AI planes set up here. But it is the perfect location for this beauty right here. This is the Boeing B-47E Stratojet, and it was based here at Little Rock Air Force Base, Arkansas, from 1955 through 1964, and it also served till 1969 as a recon jet as well as a test bed jet for the Air Force till about 1977. This guy here is the father of the B-52 Strategic Bomber that is currently still in service, and as you can see, there are a lot of commonalities between the two planes, including the skinny fuselage, the swept back wing, and of course those engine nacelles there. This sucker had 6 General Electric J47 turbojets, 4 in the 2-pod nacelles, which you can see like right there and right there, and then 2 single ones outbound. 6 engines on this sucker, and it still did not have enough power. A lot of these jets were equipped with rocket assisted takeoff. They had like some bottle rockets near the back there. This plane, however, does not, so taking off in this bird is going to be real interesting. But that is exactly what we're going to do. I've got Allie with me in the back seat, and we're going to shuttle this bird from the Air Force Base to the Little Rock National Airport, Adams Field, or Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport. All right, Allie, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's go ahead and hop in the cockpit and get this behemoth started here. Okay, so we are currently in a cold and dark cockpit, which is unusual considering there's a whole hell of a lot of noise. This plane was built for Flight Simulator X by AlphaSim, who I believe they're out of business now, or they changed their name to Vertavia. It was originally payware. I got this one a long time ago, and I believe it still is payware. If you go to Vertavia's website, I should have a link to that below, and there's probably going to be an annotation popping up. Alright, right now we've got all 6 engines off. Don't ask me why there's still a whole hell of a lot of noise, but, you know, we're going to deal with that anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do the auto start. And we can see everything start to come to life. Those 4 green lights that you're seeing there, that is for the landing gear. While I'm at it, I'm also going to turn on all the lights. So there we go, we got a nice cockpit there. Allie, how's it looking back there?
It smells like bad kerosene, moldy cheese, and old mothballs. Where did you pick up this monstrosity? A thrift store?
Alright, well, let me know if you get airsick or anything like that. We should be spooling up number 1 engine now, so let's take a look outside. Looks like number 1 is already on. We just started numbers 2 and 3, so now we should switch to 4 and 5 on the opposite wing. Those should be coming up any second. There we go. That's 4 and 5, and then finally number 6 should be firing up any moment. Now you'll notice at the very back of this plane, you'll see some guns there. That was pretty much the only defensive armament that this plane had, with basically 250 caliber Browning machine guns, and those were set to auto fire. So if somebody was unlucky enough to get behind this bird, basically they'd get shredded. Other than that, this thing had no defense whatsoever. There's no flares, there's no chaff, there's nothing. Alright, looks like number 6 is good to go. So let's go ahead and close the cockpit. Now we're going to need probably every single square foot of this runway in order to take off, because we do not have that rocket assisted takeoff here. So this could get interesting. But we do, however, have little bit of navigation aid here. Ta-da! GPS, which I'm going to go ahead and program in a direct flight to KLIT. So let's go ahead and set that up. And I'll type in KLIT. There we go. Enter. Activate. Okay, so now we are heading to KLIT. As you can see, it's only 11 nautical miles away. However, we're going to do like a mock bombing run. You will see straight ahead, there's this area that's got like the red line around it. That would be like a practice range. So when we get over there, we're going to go ahead and drop some bombs, and then we'll turn around and head back home. Now, an interesting thing about this plane is during the 60s, or in particular around 1962, or I think, yeah, it was October of 1962, 11 of these planes were deployed to civilian airports around the country during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, they never actually had to drop any bombs in their entire operational existence. However, the deterrence factor was enough to keep Russia at bay. So that's kind of cool. It never actually had to do any fighting, but it was still that impressive that, you know, people were afraid of it.
Hell, I'm afraid of it.
Thrust to weight ratio on this sucker is 0.22, so that's actually worse than the Albatross, which means I'm going to need to watch my throttle settings on this thing, otherwise we will fall out of the sky rapidly. Okay, we are pretty much set to go. Parking brakes are on. Let's switch to the close outside view, and that way we can see just how much smoke this sucker actually makes. Okay, we got a pretty good shot of the landing gear here, and I'm going to go ahead and brakes down, throttles up. Watch what happens.
Well, is it really supposed to smoke like that?
Oh boy, we are looking smoky. And let's roll. Now I've got this sucker on full throttle, and I did forget to put the flaps down, so I'm going to drop those down 3 notches real quick here.
Oh, great. We're off to a good start.
Another unique thing about this is the bicycle landing gear, which very few planes have. I believe the B-52 ended up taking that and beefing it up a bit, and also the Harrier has similar type of landing gear. We're going to take off around 180 knots. We are closing in on 150 right now. Looks like she is pretty stable. We're coming up to the end of the runway, so this had better work. Here we go. We are airborne. Alright, looking good. So, gear up. Nice, nice. Flaps up. Okay, looking good. We're still going to stay at full throttle. Build up some airspeed. As you can see, we are just under 250 knots. Once we get a little bit higher, I'll go ahead and pull her up to about 12,000 feet, thereabouts. We're just going to keep heading on this heading, which should be about 070. And we'll turn the GPS back on. Okay, so our target area is actually to the left. Let's see, where are we now? 3,000. Now, we didn't actually call the tower because, like I said, this airport is pretty much a ghost town. So let's see what we've got for the nearest airport list. We got the Air Force Base. Okay. We probably won't even worry about the tower right now. And actually, I probably wouldn't be able to hear them, considering the fact that this jet is so damn noisy. So we're just going to keep heading in this direction, gain a bit more altitude here. I've got the face track no IR turned off, so you won't see any dramatic looking left, looking right at the moment. Just want to get this bird up to altitude. So far so good. Let's take another look outside. Beautiful day for flying. Beautiful day for creating air pollution as well. Holy crap, look at the smoke coming out of the back of this thing. Jeez. That's just craziness. Still hanging in there okay, Allie?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm trying to think of my happy place.
Alright, cool beans. Your job is going to be to watch the speed to make sure that we don't go below what we should be. Because I do not want to stall in this sucker. It's going to be a very short flight otherwise.
Roger that, boss.
Now this thing does have an autopilot. It is very rudimentary, so we most likely will not be using it. Let's get the GPS back up. Okay, so there's our target area to the left, and as soon as we get up and over 10,000, I will turn off the landing lights. There we go, they are off. And we're going to veer off to the left here. Alright, once we get on a heading to where we will cross over that airspace, what I'll do is set up the autopilot real quick and at least maintain altitude so that way we can take a look outside at the bomb bay doors opening up. Now, if this were an actual bombing mission, we'd probably be a little bit higher up, but to be honest with you, this thing didn't have a really high flight ceiling. I believe it was only 33,000 and maybe 100 feet that it could go, which is kind of odd for something that was supposed to be a strategic bomber, but, you know, it did the job and it didn't actually have to drop any bombs, so I guess it wasn't a critical issue for them at that time. Okay, we're at about 11,000, so I'm going to turn on yield autopilot and altitude hold. There we go. We are stable at 11,000 feet. And let's take another look outside. Now, one thing that's very peculiar about this plane, you'll notice it looks like it's actually heading down. I don't know if that is deliberately modeled that way or if that was kind of like one of those funky things that happened when AlphaSim created this plane. Either way, it kind of looks a little funny. But still, can't complain too much. Now, it's a cloudy day, but we're still going to bomb rural Arkansas down there, so we'll get ready to do that in a second as soon as we've confirmed that we're actually in our bombing zone. In the meantime, let's do a quick flyby. And there we go. Off to create some mayhem. Okay, now we're actually overspeeding, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the throttles back some, and as you can see, my throttles are going crazy. Go ahead and come off the autopilot real quick. Hopefully that'll help.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think this plane is possessed. Throttles are not supposed to do that.
Maybe we can actually gain some altitude. That'll help us lower some speed a little bit here. And let's set up the GPS one more time. Okay, so we are actually in the area we need to be, so I'm going to go this way. We'll do this longitudinally here. Plus, I think we need to turn this way anyway to get to Little Rock, so. Alright, so we are no longer overspeeding. Woot!
Yeah, that's because we're banking.
Now the max speed on this plane was 607 miles per hour, or 528 knots, or 977 kilometers per hour. It had a cruise speed of about 557 miles per hour, or 484 knots, 896 kilometers per hour. And with all the gas that this sucker carried, pretty much you could travel about 4,037 nautical miles, or 7,478 kilometers. So you could definitely make it cross-country, but I'm not quite sure they could have actually made it to Russia if need be. All the same, the Russians didn't know that at the time, and, you know, they were just scared to death of it, I guess. But then that's how they also came up with things like the Bear Bomber and whatnot. Okay, so we are pretty much set. Let's go ahead and put the autopilot back on. I'm thinking the altitude hold is on as well. Yeah, because I'm pulling forward and I'm not seeing anything here. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop some bombs, shall we? Alright, watch closely at the bottom. Here they go. Whee! Incoming boom flowers for rural Arkansas. Or at least the lakes down there.
I don't see anything.
So this sucker could carry about 25,000 pounds of ordnance, either as conventional bombs, like 500-pound bombs, or they could carry 1 to 2 nuclear bombs. That, I believe, was the big, huge deterrence factor that this plane had. Alright, so our bomb load has been dropped.
You mean our imaginary bomb load?
So we're going to go ahead and close the bomb bay doors. Looks like we've got a successful mission, so now all we need to do is head to Little Rock. Now Little Rock is just beyond 35 nautical miles, so I'm going to turn off the autopilot. We're going to hang a left. And we're going to lower some altitude here. We're kind of dropping like a rock, but that's okay because we are heading straight for Little Rock with no side trips. This will be a very short flight here. The hard part is going to be bringing this sucker back down. There are no speed brakes on this thing. Alright, straighten up here. Now we should be heading just about south, or at least close to south, probably a little bit more like southwest. And we're gaining altitude again, that's no bueno. Alright, let's see if we can bring this bird down. So there we go, a successful bomb run, and now we're going to take this bird home. Probably a bunch of guys down there fishing like, what in the hell? Cletus, did you see that?
Oh my god. I think the kerosene fumes and mothballs are getting to you, Bill.
Now getting down is going to be the trick. I'm actually at 0 throttle right now in the hopes that I can coax this bird to go down. Okay, we are now below 9,000, so I'm going to go ahead and put the landing lights back on. We're at 8,000. And let's see if we can raise Little Rock. And we got a little bit of turbulence here.
Oh no, that is all I need right now. First the smell, and now the rocking of the boat.
I thought you had a cast iron stomach, Allie.
I do, but even I have my limits.
Alright, well we're almost down. So we are still at 0 throttle here in an attempt coaxing this plane down. And it is still taking its own sweet time to get down. Meantime, I'm going to zoom in this GPS. I'm hoping we'll get a direct in so that way I don't have to go around, because going around sucks in this thing. Especially with the power issues. You think that it took a long time for us to spool up the engines on the Albatross. This sucker takes 20 seconds to spool up the 6 engines. 20 seconds. Not much wiggle room there. Not much margin for error.
Not making me feel more comfortable back here.
Okay, we are at 5,000. Thinking I can take her down to about 4. I at least want to get below these clouds here. From my understanding, there's about 25 of these that are still in flyable condition today. I don't know exactly where they're located or what they're actually used for, if people actually do fly them. But apparently there are about 25 that are still airworthy, and I imagine there's still a few that are used as display aircraft in museums and whatnot.
Like I said, they're probably in pawn shops all around the country.
Considering the fact that it had a relatively short service life, I'm kind of not surprised that there's not too many of these suckers left. Alright, we're going to see if we can take it down to about 3,000 here, because I'm still seeing clouds ahead of me and there's no airport in sight. There it is. Adams, KLIT, number 6. Alright, let's go ahead and call him. Tell him we want a landing. Adams Tower, Boeing 2462 is 25 miles north with whiskey to land.
Boeing 2462, Adams Tower. Make straight in, runway 22, right. Altimeter 3002.
Okay, good. We're going straight in. I love this. Make straight in, runway 22 right, Boeing 2462. Alright, I'm going to try and straighten her up now. And we will go ahead and put in some procedures here for 22 right. Select approach. I want 22 right. Enter. Enter. Activate. Okay, so we are a little bit off course here. We've actually lost quite a bit of speed, so I'm going to go ahead and give us some more power here. We'll get below 3,000, probably about 2,500-ish, and we'll swing out to the left. Let's see what it looks like outside here. Wow. All that smoke. That's a bunch of craziness right there. Okay, so the airport is coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom this in a little bit more. And we'll start dropping some more speed here. We're going to need to make a hard right past the Air Force Base that we took off from. And we're going up again. Seriously? I've got low power, but we're still going up. Man, this bird. Now, as I mentioned before, there are no speed brakes on this sucker, so in order to get down, we're going to have to use the landing gear as our speed brakes. Yes, you heard right.
Cleared to land, runway 22, right.
Cleared to land, runway 22 right, Boeing 2462. Alright, well, we got our clearance, so let me zoom this in just a touch more. And we'll go ahead and start dropping some gear. We are under 300 knots here, so that should be good. I do believe the Air Force Base is off to our right. Yep, that's where we took off from. Alright, and we'll center this back. There we go. Alright, I'm going to drop power again. Not too much, but just enough so that I can make this turn successfully. We'll go ahead and drop the gear. Look at that. Well, if that doesn't slow us down, nothing will. We can start dropping flaps now, so get a couple of notches down. Just go for 3 notches. We're still making a pretty shallow turn here, but that's deliberate. I definitely want it to be a shallow turn. We can start to see the airport off to the right there. Okay, flaps should be all the way out. Actually, I don't think that is the airport that we're looking for, is it? It might be. Landing speed in this sucker's around 180 knots, so I'm going to be doing that ballet of power here to make sure that we stay right around that. Airport should be directly ahead. I don't know. Can you see anything back there, Allie?
Hell no.
Yeah, somehow I didn't think you could. This isn't the Albatross. Alright, well, strap in. We're coming in. Okay, according to the GPS, we are relatively lined up. A little off center, but I think I see the airport up ahead. If you look to the right side of my canopy, you should see it. There's downtown Little Rock. Aha! I see the lights of runway 22 left. We want 22 right, which should be directly ahead of us. There is a bit of a crosswind, so I'm going to compensate for that by getting some power going here. And I'm probably going to be nudging the rudders. Well, one rudder, singular. Let's take one more look outside just to make sure we're lined up properly. Okay, so far we're looking good. It's doing the official Boeing crab that all these Boeing Stratojets seem to do, whether it's this or the B-52. Alright, no need for the GPS, so I'm going to keep it off and still try to coax this plane down with a crosswind. Keeping it around 200, and then at the last second I'll go ahead and drop power once I know for sure that we are on target. A little bit of right rudder should do the trick.
You know, Belle, I am really not liking that throttle and what it's doing. Are you sure we're going to be okay with this?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine, Allie.
Okay, I trust you with my life.
Alright, here we go, here we go. So you can get a good look at downtown as we come in. Trying to keep that rudder control. And let's bring her in. A little high up. I'm hoping we don't have to go around here.
We're too high up, Belle. We're not going to make it at this angle. You may as well go around.
Yep, we are too high up. Okay, we're going to have to go around. Better to be safe than sorry, folks. Alright, gear up. Flaps up. We're going around. We're going mist. Going around, Boeing 2462.
Boeing 2462, copy, go around.
Okay, so this will give us a chance to do some sightseeing of downtown here. Flaps should be back up. Let me just check real quick. Yep, looks like the flaps are back up. Gears in. We'll get a little bit of speed, and we're going to turn to the right. So there we have downtown Little Rock. As you can see, a stylish, fashionable city here on the Arkansas River. Looking pretty decent. There's our airport. Now it's probably going to take us a year to turn around here, so I'm just going to be nice and gentle with the controls and try not to gain too much altitude, since that was what our issue was the last time. It would not be much of a show if I didn't have at least some kind of drama going on, so this is pretty much normal here. Okay, we are gaining a lot of speed though, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it back some. turn for downwind. As you can see, the wind is buffeting us all over the freaking place. Holy crap. Alright, let's go downwind here. We'll take a look outside and see our reference point to the airport. Okay, airport is over there, downtown is over there, we are up here, and we're trying to keep this sucker steady. We're overspeeding again. How in the hell are we overspeeding? I've got like no power on this thing. That's just nuts.
I'm telling you, there's an issue with the throttles. I can't move these suckers.
Boeing 2462, cleared to land, runway 22, right.
That's easy for you to say, buddy. Cleared to land, runway 22 right, Boeing 2462. So yeah, remember that no speed brake thing? Mm-hmm. Wow, that is nuts. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my throttle controls here. Why am I having that jiggly issue there? That doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. Unless I've got like the auto throttle on or something like that, which I shouldn't. Let me check where we are.
Adams Tower, American 1257, ready to go, runway 22, left IFR DFW. American 1257, cleared for takeoff, runway 22, left, service with 169 at 14.
Really should not be overspeeding in this.
Runway 22, left, American 1257.
And we're in the clouds. Okay, let's see if this bird will actually turn. I don't know why it says we're overspeeding because I do not have the throttles all the way up. Not quite sure what's going on with that. I'm pretty sure this thing was not designed to turn like this.
Oh my god, we're going to die.
I think the throttles are stuck.
I've been saying it.
There's the Air Force Base again. Well, we'll just fly over the Air Force Base. Hi there, guys. Oh, wait, there's no one there.
American 1257, contact Little Rock departure on 119.5. 119.5, American 1257.
Okay, how are we doing on throttles here? Are we actually losing speed?
I think so.
Looks like we are. Well, that was weird. The throttles got stuck.
Do you want me to call the thrift store you got this plane from and see if you can get your money back before it kills us?
No, I'm sure we'll be fine. Just gonna lose some more speed here. Okay, so the runway is directly behind us. Maybe we can do a quick turn around here. Although, who am I kidding? There is nothing quick about this plane. Everything takes forever.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I just saw a gremlin on our wing there.
Okay, this is going to get interesting because there's traffic coming in.
Runway 22, right. Follow the aircraft on final.
Uh-huh, that'll be us. Follow the aircraft on final.
Runway 22, right. Beach 704.
Yeah, you're not going to have a very good landing there, buddy, because we're coming up behind you. We're probably going to fly past you.
Just please don't hit him, Bell, please.
I'll try not to hit him, Allie. Okay, I have 0 throttle. And let's go ahead and try the gear again. Gear is out. Flaps coming down. Flaps are down. One final check. Okay, we're looking good. Now all we need is that Beechcraft to get the hell out of our way. What's our altitude? Just over 2,200 feet. Okay. We're on extended final, so we should be good with this. So just like before, I'm going to keep it between 180 and 200, or at least try to. Needless to say, this bird is probably better off as a museum piece. They did have their share of troubles when this thing was operational, not the least of which was the low engine power. But hopefully we should be able to bring this sucker in with no issues whatsoever. Alright, we're just below 2,000, so I'm going to go ahead and stabilize here. I still don't see that Beechcraft. Do you see him anywhere, Allie?
I told you, I can't see anything back here.
Okay, well keep your eyes peeled, because he's got to be around here somewhere. I'm sure he's going to get waved off because we were first in line, but I don't want to take any chances here. At this point, I just want to get this behemoth on the ground, because this is one roller coaster ride that I would not like to repeat. Oh, there we go. He just got told to go around.
Thank goodness. The tower just saved his life.
Beach 704.
That's right, sucker. Get out of our way. Okay, we are nearing stall speed, so I'm going to give it a little more juice.
119.5. 119.5. Beach 704.
Alright, I see the lights for the one runway, so I'm thinking we're a little to the left of the runway that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and swing us out to the right just a touch here.
Can't we just use their VASI lights as a guide?
That'd be great if we were coming in on 22 left, but I believe that's the shorter runway, and with no speed brakes, stopping this sucker is going to get real fun.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Alright. It's all yours, baby.
Okay, there's our runway up ahead. Let's confirm by looking outside. Yep, there it is. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn just a touch. If I remember correctly, there was a crosswind as we were coming in, so I'm not going to turn too much. I do want this bird to start dropping, though. That would be nice. Only not too much. Okay, we're almost there this time. Got a pretty good rate of descent. We are lined up. Nothing's in our way. Beechcraft has to go around. Here we go. This time we're going for broke. I can only imagine what the pilots who flew this back in the 50s and 60s felt. This was like emergent technology, and they weren't quite sure what was going to happen when they actually flew this sucker. One pilot, I believe, also got killed because of a canopy failure. So we're going to just hope that doesn't happen today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop all power as we cross the river here. And we'll go ahead and straighten the bird up. we go. That was a bounce. Brakes. More brakes. More brakes. All the brakes. Holy crap, will we stop in time? Whew. I do believe we did it. Alright, let's get this great chrome behemoth to the parking spot. See, Allie, I told you we would do it.
I never doubted you for a second, Belle. Now this plane on the other hand is a death trap.
Alright, next time I promise we'll get a smaller, easier to handle plane. Okay, let me go ahead and give them the call here. Going to 121.9er, Boeing 2462. Adams Ground, Boeing 2462, taxi to parking.
Boeing 2462, taxi to general aviation parking, and taxiway Delta Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Delta Alpha, Boeing 2462. Cheat sheet. Oh good, it's directly ahead, even better. Okay, so that's going to end our short and sweet bombing run in the legendary B-47. As always, I do thank you all for watching. And if you like what you see, feel free to go ahead and click like. Don't forget to subscribe, that way you'll get notifications as to when we put these online. And Allie, where are we off to next?
We're off to the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Absolutely. We are going to Nashville, Tennessee. Yay! Actually, one of my favorite towns that I've only been through a couple of times. But I'm sure we'll have a blast there. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget you can find me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/BelGeode, and on Hitbox, www.hitbox.tv/BelGeode. And I'm on Facebook, BelGeode 2015, Twitter, @BelGeode. Alrighty folks, so thank you for flying with us. And as I make my way to the parking spot, I am going to bid you all adieu. We'll catch you on the flip side. Ciao.